Hey guys, hey.
It is, well, I'm starting to celebrate my summer solstice. I usually celebrate a couple of days or one day before or one day after. So I'm going to start my summer solstice. Actually, I have already done my summer solstice celebration. And the summer solstice to me is, I really love that because I'm one of those people that loves the summertime. I guess it comes from childhood. And the summer to me is about fun and joy and creativity and things blossomed and it's beautiful and I feel like in this time frame with all that's going on, to find the place to have joy, and it's so much about joy to me. And it, as I say, it goes back to my childhood. I was always joyful when we got out of school for the summer. Uh, and I can remember the great things that you do. Like we would get to go swimming, maybe a vacation would be planned in that time. So summer has always been a fruitful time for me and a time to connect with those that I love and enjoy the sun. It is about the sun. And even to me, connecting to that fire element, the element of fire. And I'm gonna be have to be one to say that I love that fire element. I love to burn candles. I love connecting with that fire element because it is powerful and strong, and it can be controlled and contained, and it can be wild. Uh, and all aspects of that is sort of entrances me in a way. So, this summer solstice, I just wanted to share some of the things that I do and some of the things that I have done to celebrate summer solstice. Well, usually on the solstices, I do celebrate most of the Sabbats and Esbats. Um, but, I kind of go more for the solstices because it's a change of seasons. And with each change of season, I have a time of reflection. When it's summer, when it's fall, I feel like that's harvest time. And I may be receiving the benefits of whatever I've planted, and not necessarily planted in the physical sense, but what have I even planted spiritually? Or whatever am I benefiting from that by the fall. I love the colors of fall, the orange, the reds, and everything. Spring, things are bursting forth. Maybe it's a new time of renewal and stuff like that. And then the winter is a time for rest, also a time for me for connecting with family, because during Yule, or my family really celebrates Christmas. We connect, we do things, we exchange gifts, and sometimes we don't even exchange expensive gifts, but gifts that have meaning. And being that I'm an African American, sometimes I connect our holidays with that too. So it's kind of different having this dual connection. Well, some of the things, getting back to summer solstice, I'm going to bring my candle. Usually, I like to have a summer solstice candle, or with each season, I'll just make a candle with some kind of container and I'll go kind of all out. Because in here, I have bright colors. I colored some uh, sugar flakes basically with different colors, the oranges and reds. I dried some violets and they're in here. And as you can see, my petunias, that these are fresh, comes from my Euro garden. And I just put them around there for the decoration. And to me, violets and petunias spring forth. To me, they mean like love, excitement, and all of that for the summer. So I did that. And I was telling you about the sprinkles that I colored. These are some of the sprinkles that, now this is salt down here. That is orange and red. And I did get that from one of my witchy boxes, but the rest of them I did. And it does have some mint for abundance. and some rosemary for protection. But the sprinkles are for the represent the colors of summer, the yellows, and there is some red and some oranges and stuff like that in there. And I wanted all of that because the intent is for joy and contentment and success and positivity and creativity. So that is one of the spell jars that I completed. And then on the top, it has, candle to seal the jar. So that's some of the things. Then, I usually do my what am I reading kind of thing. And I'm going to spend the summer. These are books that I started some of them are books that I've started but never kind of finished getting into. So over the next couple of days, I'll be trying to finish up this book. One is Of Blood and Bones by Kate Ruler, Working with Shadow Magic and Of the Dark Moon. This book is so good. Now, it's kind of more geared for those who may be of the left-hand path. But to me, I feel like as a practitioner of magic, you need to know both parts in both the left hand and the right hand path. I I don't usually do left hand magic, but I will if I need to. And if I need to, I need to know how to. So this book is a really good resource. She has some different spells. She talks about it. She also talks about, I feel like if you're going to do the left-hand path, personally for me, or if you're going to do something from the, you need to do a little shadow work, a little divination. Now, this is my own personal feeling. A little divination, a little shadow work before you do, to make sure that is this really what you want to do? And anything that I do or have done, that may be left-handed, I kind of go through a series of questions of asking myself, and take a little time. I don't do it reactionary. Somebody did something to me and boom, I'm going to do. No, I'm going to think about this. Is this, for me, is this fair? How am I feeling about this? I'm going to divine before I actually do the work, because is it going to be something that, I need to do or I should do? So I go through those series of things, and she did go through some things that you should do prior to that. But there is great, and she has great discussions in here about that. And there's things about using different parts, using animal parts and stuff. That's not for everybody, but she has the information. I feel like there is nothing wrong with getting the information that you need. She has stuff in here about dirts and all kind of things, that blood and using body fluids may not be for everybody, but to me, it's a good resource book. And I think I'm almost done with it. Maybe I have a fourth of the book left. This is where I'm at. So that is cool. And one of the summer reads that I'm doing, because I want to complete that in the next week or two. And some of the other summer reads I'm working on. And this is by Abiola Abrams, The Divine Frequency. Now, I just kind of started this book, so maybe I'm about a fourth into it. On page 115. What she does in this book, and I feel like this is a good book, and it goes over her thoughts, basically, of the Hermetic principles. Near the end, which I haven't got there yet, I will say, she talks about some other principles too. What I do like about this book is that she'll go over different cultural histories regarding different Hermetic principles. Just chapter 9, which I haven't been too long ago to finish that. She talks about, she'll explain what is the law of attraction. That's what it's about, law of attraction. The law of attraction is based on straightforward principles, like attracts likes. And then she'll talk about applying the law, and that would involve visualizations, affirmation, vision boards, and gratitude. And then she'll go into a cultural history, and she'll say things about different cultures and how they may apply this. she'll talk about that. In this one, she talked about somehow the pioneers of New Thought, like Phineas Quimby, Mary Baker, and stuff. They kind of brought out that positive thinking. And for Atkinson's explained in his book, Thought, Vibration, or Law of Attraction in the Thought World. He talked about thought is a form of energy that attracts like energy. She'll talk about the Dogon people of Mali. The power of the spoken word is recognized as a force of creation, Nomo, central to Dogon cosmology, emphasizes that speaking something aloud can bring it into existence. So with that, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Or what are you saying about yourself? All interconnected. So she even talked about the Yoruba people of West Africa. The concept of Ashe holds a deep spiritual significance. We will dig into the principle of Ashe in the law of life force energy, but here is an additional perspective. Ashe refers to the power to make things happen. It is an affirmation of the power of personal and collective will. Spoken words carry the power to influence the physical and spiritual world. And then in the Lakota culture, the sacred hoop or medicine wheel is a symbol of harmony and balance. It represents the connection between all life, human beings, nature, and the spiritual world. So those are the different cultures. She'll talk about how they kind of intertwine the law of attraction. I really am enjoying the book. I have to say, I like her other books a little bit better, but I haven't completed it. I still would give this, for right now, for where I am, a 4 out of 5. I think it's a good read. I do feel like she goes over each law and gives you the history, how other cultures have incorporated this. She'll have a part in there that says my diary. Well, she may talk about personal experiences that she has. And then she'll do a case study. Now, I do like all of that. So with each of these principles, you're going through all of that with her. And it does help you to I've studied the Hermetic principles. I feel like her book is helping me to dive a little bit deeper into that. Again, it's called The Divine Frequency, and it's by Abiola Abrams, and I'm just a fan of hers, and I like her work. So there we have that. And then this book has been a little challenging for me. I'm reading it with a book club. 3 books of cult philosophy by Henry Cornelius Griffith. And I'm barely into this book because it's a very dense read, but the information I think is great. It's one of those books that kind of challenge me. This may be a book that will take me, because I just can't sit and read 20 pages. It's just not that kind of book for me. So I may not finish this book, I'm going to be honest, to the end of the year. And I'll go back over it with you guys to say how I thought. I'm learning some things. It has some good insights into everything. But he was from another another period in life. And so it's a little bit dense and difficult for me. Not that it's very difficult. It's just that I'm not resonating with him. When I'm like that, the challenge for me is once I start a book, I just cannot stop. I got to go ahead and read the book. I don't like to leave books on the shelf because I just can't, half read books. That's not my thing. So those books that take me a little longer, or I'm just not into that much, it may take me 6 months to finish that, and I don't care. So what? It'll take that long for me to read it. For some people, this may be a great book. To me, like I said, it's a little dense for me, so it's more difficult. Am I learning things from the book? Yes, I'm learning things. I feel like since he's from another time frame, for me, there are things I can incorporate into my magical practice of today, but just not kind of my thing. And in the back, it says the 3 books of occult philosophy was written during the 16th century by Henrik Cornelius Agrippa. Its study of occult philosophy is widely acknowledged as a significant contribution to the Renaissance philosophical discussion concerning the powers of ritual magic and its relationship with religion. An English translation first appeared in London in 1651. The translator identified only as JF. These three books involve the study of elemental, celestial, and intellectual magic, a study of the four elements, astrology, Kabbalah, numbers, angels, and divine names, along with the virtues and relationships that go with them. I would say it's fair for me, and maybe it's because of the time frame and the denseness of the book, but it's something I want to challenge myself to complete, so it may take a while, and I'll probably come back with a more in-depth book review. Well, with each season, each solstice, I have my cards. I think, what are they? The season of the witch cards, and this is sort of like the Letha season. So I'm going to pick a card. And what did I pick? I picked the hummingbird, and it says the winds beneath your wing are shifting, and if you don't pay attention, you may lose flight. I think this is for me because the hummingbird kind of flitters around and does this and does that. I just feel like this is saying, hey, focus. Things are gonna shift. They're gonna shift in your favor, but not if you're going from this place to that place. Kind of focus, and it will help you some. So that's what I get from that. You be blessed, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.